This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, November 11. In Squiz Kids Today, remembering our soldiers, Japan's love of Animal Crossing, the world's biggest cruise ship, and octopuses behaving badly. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
At 11 a.m. today, wherever you are in Australia, you might notice people stopping what they are doing and observing a minute's silence. That's because today is November 11, the 11th day of the 11th month of the year, or otherwise what's called Remembrance Day. As the name suggests, it's a day for us to all pause and remember those who have lost their lives in war. So, why is it on this day? Because 104 years ago today, on November 11 in the year 1918, the guns fell silent on the Western Front in Europe after more than 4 years of warfare. It was the end of the First World War, a conflict in which more than 70 million people were involved from multiple countries and which left a staggering 13 million people dead. Sadly, there have been many wars since then, and Australian soldiers, men and women, have fought in them. You might see people wearing a red flower today. That flower is called a poppy, and the reason it's the symbol of Remembrance Day is because red poppies were among the first plants to flower in the fields of Northern Europe after the fighting had ended. I've stuck a link in today's episode notes to a poem called In Flanders Fields, which captures the spirit of Remembrance Day. Lest we forget.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Japan, where Animal Crossing New Horizons has just toppled Pokemon to become the best-selling game ever. Clocking up an impressive 10.4 million sales, the popular kids game from Nintendo, in which players are placed on a desert island and create a world of their own, has now proven more popular in Japan than games like Super Mario, Mario Kart, Splatoon and Dragon's Quest. So why is it a thing, the number of games sold in Japan? Because Japan is the home of Nintendo and other gaming companies. Plus, it's the third biggest gaming market in the world, after the US and China. So trends that develop there have implications around the rest of the world. And if you're a parent out there thinking, this whole gaming thing has got to eventually peter out, check this out. Nintendo said this week it has sold a grand total of 114.3 million Nintendo Switch consoles since they were first launched. But I'm certain all of you out there know how to regulate your screen time, right?
Animal Kingdom.
Some people say they're solitary creatures, but two new videos tell a very different story about our octopus friends. Over in Canada, a viral video from a teacher who loves to dive shows an elusive, that means hard to find, giant octopus. It glides towards the camera, then envelops it, and for 40 minutes, the teacher says the ockie crawled all over her and her diving buddies, giving them hugs and sucker kisses. Check your episode notes for the video. Back here in Australia, researchers looking at octopuses off the coast of New South Wales observed the opposite of hugs and kisses. Their video is all about octopus aggression. They recorded more than 100 incidents of octopuses picking up shells, silt and algae and chucking them at other annoying octopuses. On lots of occasions, the octopus turned a dark colour, which researchers already know means that they are angry. Octopuses hugging, octopuses chucking things at each other. Sounds like a day in the life of my children.
Biggest, furthest, longest.
If I was to say the words human lasagna, what image does it conjure up? A pile of humans squished on top of one another, compounded in a multi-layered mashup? Well, that's exactly the metaphor that's been used to describe the world's largest cruise ship. A metaphor, as those of you who've been paying attention in English will know, is a creative way to describe something. Making a comparison between two objects that at first glance aren't at all alike, but have something in common. The snow is a white blanket. The classroom is a zoo. The cruise ship is a human lasagna. You get the picture. This week, plans were unveiled for a great big cruise ship called Icon of the Seas. Currently under construction in Finland, it will be 20 stories high and be able to carry 10,000 passengers. Complete with water slides, theme park attractions, no fewer than 7 pools, a full-sized theatre. Wowzers. Hence the description as human lasagna. I've stuck a link to photos in today's episode notes so you can see what we're talking about. And on the subject of clever wordplay, earlier this week we asked you to send in your best attempts at a portmanteau. A portmanteau is 2 words that have been blended into one to create a new word altogether. We had heaps of excellent entries, so thank you to everyone, but my favourite was definitely Claudia from Cooperoo, who says she does a lot of dance concerts with her friends, and together they've blended nervous and excited to come up with the word nerve-sighted to describe how they feel before running out on stage. I love it.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. How many stories high is the world's biggest cruise ship? Yeah, well done if you had your listening ears on and you got the number 20. Question number 2. Which made-up blended word was the winner of our portmanteau competition? Yeah, that's right, the word's nerve-sighted. Question number 3. Name the video game that's just become the biggest selling ever in Japan. Yeah, that's right, it's Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Shout-outs.
It's November 11, and as well as being Remembrance Day, it's a birthday today for actor Leonardo DiCaprio and also the start of Frog ID Week, where your help is requested to compile a database of frog sounds from all around the country. I stuck a link in today's episode notes. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. Lots of birthday shout-outs for today and the coming weekend, for which we're gonna need to crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday today to Aria and Avani from Springfield, Luigi from Nunawading, Shona from Forest Lake, Charlotte from Bronte, Charlie from Bathurst, Ivy from Lane Cove West, Brittany Lee from Gorokan, Jordan from Brisbane, Heidi and Brian from Junee, Florence from Ballarat, Zoe from Williams Landing, Leah Rose from Brankston, Nicholas from Maitland, Aaron from North Coburg, Lucy and Ellie from Blacksland, and Jack from Brisbane State High. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Joey from West Pymble, Lockie from the Gold Coast, Louis from Kipper Ring, and Andrew from Ocean Reef. Not forgetting, of course, those Squiz kids celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Charlie from Craigburn, Liam from Forest Lake, Emmett and Spencer from Woongarra, Maeve and Harrison from Brisbane, Harry M from Exeter, Grace from Riverton, Xander from Atwell, James from Leeton, Aisha and Leah from Melbourne, Orlando from Thirroul, Lizzie from the Gold Coast, Danica from Manopara, Lucinda from Mooloolaba, Rosie from Greenwich, Molly from Erskineville, Joshua from Allambie Heights, and Kitty, who's listening all the way over there in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids Today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent weekend. Over and out.